Hello YouTube, Aerosport here. I'm gonna do an update today. It's a little short one, but before we start off, I would like to say Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Here, as you can see, I have several of the tubes already cut, and they're kind of laid out in the position that they'll be welded together. I'm welding angle iron to my layout table in order to build a fixture which will keep the tubes from moving while I'm trying to weld them. Right now I'm showing you my next gen helmet. I love the helmet itself, but the headgear is just absolutely terrible. It is extremely uncomfortable and it tends to slide off your head. There's a little bit of grinding flash on that piece of angle iron. When I put the square on there, I noticed that it wasn't exactly sitting square, and that's rather important because all tubes must end in the same place. The angle iron is not square and a quarters. It has a radius. It tends to hold the square off of the edge of the angle iron. You see me putting washers down on the flat side of the angle iron, that in an effort to pick the square up above the radius. and marking the line where the tube must end. That's the pivot point from the landing gear to the fuselage. Now I'm trying to figure out how to come up with the angle that I require. Yeah, I believe it's 22 and a half degrees. The protractor on my chop saw, well, it really leaves a lot to be desired. I was pointing out a little earlier that diagonal tube is in fact 2 inches longer than what it needs to be. I cut the tube long because I was experimenting with my tool that fish mouths the end of tubing. I know that diagonal is 15 inches, but it's absolutely positively critical that the length of that tube is correct. If you need something cut too short, my goodness, just give me a call. I'll fix you right up. I'm trying to mark the tube at 13 inches. The only problem is the piece of chalk I'm using is about an 1/8 inch wide. Like I said, these measurements are critical, and if I were to cut it on that line, the landing gear would be cocked. That would cause the tire alignment to be out. That causes two problems. Number one is it's hard on tires. It causes them to wear, and it also makes the aircraft squirrely on the ground. You notice Odie came by. He was trying to tell me that, and I dismissed him rather rudely.